awful husband cheated on me with his ex-wife and was using me as a nanny for his kids. Now they're refusing to move out of my house. I married my husband 4 years ago and took care of his kids since they were young. Both of them were neglected and had behavior issues because my husband and his ex didn't take good care of them. My husband traveled a lot for work, so he was rarely around, while their mom was irresponsible and sought out her own pleasure. I love the kids as if they were my own, and I've taken an active role in their lives in school. Both my husband and his ex-wife were satisfied with me doing the grunt work for kids since they both travel a lot, and I became the only one who was fully engaged and knew what both kids were going through. My husband and his kids are all living in a 3-bedroom house I inherited from my parents. His ex-wife's place doesn't have as much space as I do, so the kids are here almost full time, which was fine with me until a few months ago. I came back from an overnight school field trip with my stepson to find a very distraught stepdaughter. She was jittery, nervous, and had been crying. When I asked what happened, she confessed she found her parents together in my bedroom and was upset about the cheating. I was devastated hearing this from her. 4 years of marriage destroyed in seconds. After investigating, I discovered their affair had been going on for months, possibly a year. What made it worse was that I'd been trying to get pregnant for 2 years, meaning my husband was sleeping with both of us in the same time frame. A nauseating realization. When I confronted him about the cheating and told him I wanted a divorce, he barely pleaded and showed little remorse. He simply said he didn't want our marriage to end, seeming oddly confident I'd change my mind even after I kicked him out. He agreed to a separation and moved to an apartment. My stepdaughter was furious with both her parents and couldn't look at them without disgust. She insisted on continuing to live with me, and her parents readily agreed. I would have been fine with the kids staying, but my issue was that both my husband and their mother felt entitled to enter my house whenever they wanted because their children were here. His ex showed no guilt about the affair and treated me like an intruder in the family, like I was merely their nanny, leaving me with instructions and criticisms. Seeing her constantly reminded me of my husband's betrayal. Meanwhile, my ex visited frequently, claiming he was there for the kids while trying to convince me to let him move back. The hurt and anger I felt toward them was overwhelming, and their increased presence for the kids, since I discovered their affair, felt like they were flaunting it in my face. Things reached a breaking point last week when I arrived home to find my stepkids having a meal with my ex-husband and their mother in my home, something they had never done before. Their mother had set out food I made on my formal dining table with my nice dishes, creating a family moment with her and my ex under my roof. I completely lost control, screaming at them to get out, sobbing that I hated him and never wanted to see him again. My stepson was shocked, having been mostly shielded from the situation. I spent the weekend at my cousin's to escape, and my stepdaughter joined me, admitting she hadn't invited her parents. Her mother had shown up and then invited my ex. When we returned, I warned her mother not to come over anymore or I'd report her for trespassing. She laughed in my face. The next day when she showed up, I called the police, who asked her to leave. My stepson was furious, giving me the silent treatment. His mother returned later, claiming I was being unreasonable over one little mistake and that she had my ex-husband first. I lost my temper and yelled at her to leave, which prompted my stepson to shove me. I fell, shocked by his reaction. His mother left immediately, and he locked himself in his room, calling his dad to pick him up. His father was out of town, and his mother ignored his calls. Though I understood his frustration, his turning on me hurt deeply. The rest of the week was tense as he refused to speak to me. I hoped things would improve with time, but when his dad came back to town, he told him he didn't want to live with me anymore. It took 2 days for my ex to want me to take his kid back, but he didn't want to come back. I told my ex I will not force him to stay with me, and he got mad at me. He wanted me to fix the situation somehow, but it just seemed like he didn't want to take care of his child and got used to me nannying him. When I refused to take his kid back, he said a lot of ugly things. The worst being that he's relieved I didn't get pregnant because I'd make an awful mother. I was heartbroken, but I was glad I didn't get pregnant with his child too. I was afraid of things turning out this way, but I've got him and his ex out of my house, which is such a relief. My stepdaughter will stay with me until she goes to college, and my ex is struggling to find childcare for his son. He's angry at me, and I think he'll proceed with the divorce quicker now that he knows I'm serious about kicking him out.